revision or the SIR process of electoral rolls in West Bengal, with BJP leader and leader of the opposition in the State Assembly, Suvendu Adhikari, launching a sharp attack on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Addressing a press conference in Kolkata today, Adhikari alleged that Mamata Banerjee has approached the Supreme Court with the sole objective of bypassing and stalling the voter verification process under the SIR. Adhikari accused the Trinamool Congress government of fearing a fair voter list revision, asserting that the SIR is essential to remove millions of allegedly illegal entries, including names of non-residents, deceased persons and infiltrators, which he said have inflated the rolls in border districts and urban pockets. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Sambhav Sharma, who's joining us live from the Supreme Court to understand more of this issue. So Sambhav, we have been tracking developments regarding this entire issue since morning, and you stated that this will be this case will be heard in court number 1 of the Supreme Court, and obviously all eyes on this case, but we have in fact a BJP leader stating that this is all to stall the SIR process. This petition is being put forward because Mamata Banerjee wants to stall the process. She wants to look at those illegal migrants and voters who have inflated the voter list in certain border areas and the urban cities.
Well, what is more important here is that West Bengal Chief Minister is present in the Supreme Court premises, and she has reached the Supreme Court. However, if we talk about the particular case, the West Bengal SIR case, the case is listed for hearing before the Chief Justice of India's bench, and the CJI is hearing this case. I mean, earlier also heard this case, and the matter is listed for hearing today as well. But the item number is 37, where the title of the case is Mamata Banerjee versus Election Commission of India. And the item number is 37, which means that if everything goes as per the plan, then the matter will come for hearing around 12 o'clock or 12:30 p.m. And probably it could be up by CJI post-lunch also. But it is up to the Chief Justice of India, because the Chief Justice of India is the master of the roster. So if he prepone the matter, or if he hears the case sometime from now, then it could be heard at 10:30 or 11 o'clock as well. So it is to be seen whether the case, this particular case, Mamata Banerjee versus Election Commission of India, where Mamata Banerjee in a way is a petition in person and is in the mood to argue the case by herself in the Supreme Court, because she is also a lawyer, and although she is not a very practicing lawyer, but yes, she is a lawyer, so she could argue the case. Or even if she is not a lawyer, even if Chief Justice of India allows West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee to argue the case herself, then also she could be seen arguing the case in the Supreme Court, court number 1, and item number is 37. But there are other items also, like item number 21, which is also related to West Bengal SIR case. So there are 2-3 items, like item 21, item 37, which is related to the West Bengal SIR. So it is to be seen when the Chief Justice of India will hear the case, because there is another case for judgment at 10:30. So whether CJI will go with that case or will hear this case first, because Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is physically present in the Supreme Court, it is to be seen. But because court number 1 is in the high security area, so she'll have to go through all that clearance and everything to enter into the premises of the Supreme Court and enter into court number 1, and then it is to be seen whether the CJI will take up West Bengal matter first or any other matter. If we talk about this West Bengal SIR case, there are certain petitions challenging the special intensive revision being conducted by the Election Commission of India in the state of West Bengal. Questions are raised on the way ECI is conducting this exercise. Questions are being raised on the conduct of the Chief Election Commissioner, and there was a kind of a meeting happened between, there was a scheduled meeting earlier, which West Bengal Chief Minister said that she is going to Delhi for a meeting with the Election Commission of India. She could also share those details in the Supreme Court and also share why she is opposing the SIR exercise. Because remember, as we were discussing this morning about this particular case, the SIR case, remember earlier when CJI was present in the state of West Bengal last week, and also the Union Law Minister was present there. West Bengal Chief Minister on the stage said, from the dais, said a lot of things about secularism, about secular fabric of the country, about sovereignty of India, about the borders, about the role of Supreme Court. So now it is to be seen. The arguments are going to be very interesting if CJI allows the sitting Chief Minister of State of West Bengal to argue the West Bengal SIR case by herself. If she argues the case in the Supreme Court, the arguments, it is to be seen what argument she is going to make. But and also because the the hearing is not live broadcasted, so. It's not. It is
right. In fact, Sambhav, you mentioned a very important point. That's what our sources are also telling us, that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee might just argue her own case, and this is because she has in fact filed this interlocutory application to seek permission to fight the case a party in person and to be a party in person for this case. And you were mentioning that she does have in fact an LLB degree, even though she is not a regularly practicing lawyer, but it seems to be the case as per our sources that she might just argue this case herself. So it's very important. This is a very important point that you have raised, because when she argues this case, obviously she is trying to question, in her petition she stated that she is trying to question the legality of the SIR process. She wants to even question the timing and the manner in which the entire process is being conducted. So obviously when she does it herself, she will be able to frame it better.
And what the difference is, in Supreme Court it cannot be like a political speech. You will have to frame the arguments as per the law and as per aligned to the procedure, the decorum of the top court of the country, and also align your arguments as per what CJI allows you to. The way you need to speak, that is very different from speaking at a political forum or speaking to the people at large. In the Supreme Court, there are certain nuances, nitty-gritties of the hearing. So, and again, it is going to be interesting how Mamata Banerjee, West Bengal Chief Minister, is going to conduct herself inside the courtroom. Because see, the visuals from inside the courtroom, to show the visuals from inside the courtroom is not possible, and even for journalists also, we'll have to adhere to certain kind of decorum inside the courtroom and inside the Supreme Court, that high security zone area where we sit, from where we report what is going on inside the courtroom. But there are certain decorums which one needs to adhere to by being present in the Supreme Court, that in the courtrooms, and that conduct. It is to be seen how Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, is going to make submissions before the Chief Justice of India, because see, it's interesting. I mean, she is the sitting chief minister. I mean, that's the constitutional post, obviously. But if you will have to argue in the courtroom, you will have to stand as a counsel and then you argue the matter. Earlier, it's not the first time that somebody, non-lawyer, argued the case, because see, earlier Yogendra Yadav was seen arguing the case. There were some petitions Supreme Court sometimes allow arguing the case, and it's also not mandatory that you'll have, or generally it's a norm that you'll have to argue it in English. But so if Supreme Court allows you, one can argue in its native language also. So it is to be seen which language Mamata Banerjee, generally she will argue in English. It is very much expected, but everything is to be seen. And if CJI allows it at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, then the hearing could happen any time from now. The bench has not, assembled as of now as we speak, but bench will assemble around 10:35 or 40. And there are other cases already listed before the Chief Justice of India. There are few judgments also which the bench will have to deliver today. But this is very crucial when the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is physically present in the Supreme Court. Whether Supreme Court will consider taking that is West Bengal SIR case as a priority on the top and will hear Mamata Banerjee's argument or not. Everything is going to be very interesting in few minutes from now, whether when the bench is going to assemble in the top court of the country.
Right, Sambhav. I'll request you to please stay on with us. Let me, in fact, also rope in my colleague Renik Datta, who's joining us live on the broadcast as well. Renik, हम बस सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो हियरिंग होने वाली है उसके बारे में, जो लीगैलिटीज़ है उसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे, बट अगर हम पॉलिटिक्स की बात करें तो सुवेंदु अधिकारी जी ने भी यहाँ पर एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रखा था और उन्होंने बोला है कि ये जो पूरा प्रोसेस है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पिटिशन फाइल करना, ये इसलिए किया गया है ताकि ममता बनर्जी एसआईआर प्रोसेस को स्टॉल कर दे, क्योंकि टीएमसी को उन्होंने ऐसा एलेज किया है कि टीएमसी को फियर है कि जो वोटर लिस्ट है एसआईआर की प्रक्रिया के वजह से जो उनके जो वोटर बेस है वो इफेक्ट हो जाएंगे।
हाँ, एकदम देखिए, एकदम बीजेपी की तरफ से ये आरोप पहले दिन से लगाया जा रहा है कि ममता बनर्जी की तरफ से एसआईआर का विरोध किया जा रहा है, क्योंकि जो इलीगल वोटर्स है, जो माइग्रेंट वोटर्स है, और उसके साथ साथ ही जो बांग्लादेशी वोटर्स है जो इलीगल तरीके से बांग्लादेश से भारत में आकर इतने दिन से रुके हुए थे, उनका जो वोट बैंक, वो वोट बैंक टीएमसी का वोट बैंक है, और इसी वजह से इनके खिलाफ में ममता बनर्जी आवाज नहीं उठाना चाह रहे हैं, और इसी वजह से एसआईआर को रोकने का कोशिश ममता बनर्जी की तरफ से किया जा रहा है, ऐसा बीजेपी की तरफ से आरोप उठाया जा रहा है। और अभी जब ममता बनर्जी की तरफ से सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आर्ग्यू करने का बात सामने आ रहा है कि आज आर्ग्यू कर सकते हैं ममता बनर्जी, ठीक उसी टाइम पर बीजेपी फिर से एक बार ममता बनर्जी को घेरते हुआ नजर आ रहा है, और ममता बनर्जी के खिलाफ में एसआईआर का विरोध करने का जो आरोप इसके पहले भी बीजेपी की तरफ से उठाया गया था। बीजेपी की तरफ से लगातार एक ही बात कहा गया था कि जो ममता बनर्जी ये एसआईआर का विरोध कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि जो इलीगल वोटर्स है उनको बचाने का कोशिश ममता बनर्जी की तरफ से किया जा रहा है। ये आरोप बीजेपी की तरफ से उठाया जा रहा था, तो फिर से एक बार ये आरोप ही उठाया जा रहा है। दूसरी तरफ अगर देखा जाए तो बीजेपी की तरफ से और एक आरोप उठाया जा रहा है कि 2026 का इलेक्शन को
बने रहे रैनिक, आप हमारे साथ, मैं आपके पास वापस रुक करूंगी। जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट इज जय प्रकाश मजुमदार, टीएमसी लीडर. थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट. So when we are looking at this entire case, we are seeing the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. She has arrived at the Supreme Court premises and she is likely, to fight her own case in the Supreme Court. Is that right, Mr. Majumdar?
No, that we will see. There are other senior advocates who will be there. Mamata Banerjee also will be there. By her own educational rights, she is a very accomplished lawyer. So let's see what happens. But the matter remains that she wrote at least 4 or 5 letters to Election Commission during last 1 month. None of them were replied. But surprisingly, replies are made by BJP leaders. That is the peculiar situation in present day India, that election commission is replying via BJP spokesperson. It means what we are alleging, that election commission and BJP, they have become counter alliance for each other. They are predominantly scratching each other's back, since election commissioners are being appointed by none other than the duo Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. And as well as our Chief Election Commissioner Ganesh Kumar decided not to reply to any letter of a Chief Minister in whose state the SIR is being happening. It's a pretty unorthodox and not as per the Indian Constitution or the format of Election Commission, the directives of Election Commission. Election Commission is to see to the rights of the common people, to protect the democracy. They are the custodian of the democracy, and for the people and by the people, that democracy. Now they have become, the Election Commission is for BJP and by the BJP. That's the that's the main problem. So someone has to protest about the deterioration of Indian democracy and the possible destruction of entire democracy in the country. Someone has to protest. After so much struggle, we got independence and then we got democracy. And now BJP is about to destroy the democratic format and framework with the help of Election Commission. They are polluting the age-old system of Indian political and democratic system that we cannot allow. And Bengal is the place where during English time, the British time, that was the place where all sorts of revolutionary and pro-nation awaz utha tha. So today again, Bengal is raising the voice against such undemocratic, autocratic process of BJP.
Right, sir. And if I can also get your opinion on the allegations that have been leveled by the BJP, sir, against the TMC, that they are doing this because their vote bank will be affected. The TMC's vote bank in urban areas and border areas will be affected if the SIR process goes on.
No, look, in the meantime, you all know, as per the SIR process, the primary announcement, Election Commission has come out with the draft voter list after the completion of the first phase of enumeration form filling up. And on that basis, the Election Commission could not find a single infiltrator, a single Rohingya, or single Bangladeshi, as per their record. It's not our record, it's the Election Commission's record, as per the draft electoral roll. Now after that, all of a sudden they came out with a unique thing, that logical discrepancy, which itself is illogical. Now, Mamata Banerjee, the only person who said that not a single valid voter's name should be deleted from the voter list. Isn't it that the directives of Constitution to the Election Commission, that single valid voter should not be, the name should be deleted? That is the precise thing of our Constitution, our democracy. Why BJP is saying this? Because ultimately the SIR process has backfired on BJP, at least in West Bengal, because 1.5 crore people, they are at the field, they are waiting at the hearing center. Their things are there, they have to organize their documents, and they are being harassed immensely. And as a result, the earlier voters of BJP, like Matua, Namasudro, refugees, they have changed their allegiance to Trinamool Congress, due to immense harassment caused by Election Commission process of SIR. And now people of West Bengal, they don't differentiate Election Commission and BJP. They are together, they are the two sides of same coin. That is the common perception of common people in Bengal. So it has backfired on BJP. BJP is trying to damage control and trying to coming out of that black hole.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Majumdar, for joining us on the broadcast with your insights. In fact, these are visuals that you can see on your screens where Mamata Banerjee has reached the Supreme Court. The security has been tightened outside the Supreme Court. Let me go across to my colleague Anand Singh, who is joining us live from outside the Supreme Court. Anand, take us through the details of what is happening right now at the Supreme Court. We are learning that Mamata Banerjee has reached the premises. What is the situation out there?
Yes, Shivani, look, even as the Supreme Court is all set to hear the petitions of SIR, including the petitions that is Mamata Banerjee versus the election commissions over the exercise of a special intensive revision that is going on in West Bengal. So clearly, West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee herself have arrived in the Supreme Court over here. And if I will just ask my camera person to pan in and show you how the security has been beefed up outside the Supreme Court. As we are standing at the gate number 2 of the Supreme Court, you can see a heavy deployment of the police over here, and they have barricaded several areas as the entry of media is also not allowed inside the Supreme Court, as this matter is all set to be heard around 12 noon, as this matter has been listed at number 37. So clearly this will be being heard by CJI Suryakant himself, and it is also likely that Mamata Banerjee can get an opportunity to keep her views and keep her point in front of the Supreme Court. So clearly this is going to be a very crucial for Mamata Banerjee, as she has been targeting and highlighting that how Election Commission has not been listening to the demands that she has raised during the meeting with CEC just 2 days ago. And she had also alleged that even when she had went for the meeting, she was not given proper respect, and the CEC was not properly listening to the grievances what she has given to them. So clearly this has led to several of the pandemonium between the CEC and the Mamata Banerjee, as Mamata Banerjee while interacting.
This is something that everyone will be looking towards today. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. With that, we are wrapping up this bulletin and slipping into this commercial.